Holy cow, we're at a harvest host right now and a huge storm came through and now we are like flooded out. Look at this.
It's not as bad out this way.
No?
No.
But over here, I mean, it's like, it's like a lake. Right out our back door here, look at this. Jeez, our rug is floating. Holy cow. Hopefully, in the morning when we wake up, all this will be gone, or at least most of it. But wow, that was a heck of a storm. Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. Today is a travel day. We are finally leaving Florida after 5 months. We are heading to Savannah, Georgia for the Switch It Up huddle. It's actually their South Carolina huddle. It's in Hardyville, which is right on the border of Georgia and South Carolina, but it's near Savannah. We are staying at a brand new RV park called Savannah Lakes. They literally just opened like maybe not even a month ago, so we're looking forward to that. Luckily this morning the water all kind of receded off the parking lot and we were able to get out of there, but wow, it was ankle deep in some spots. Thought we were gonna have to inflate the kayaks and float out of there. All right guys, so the main topic for this week's video is we're gonna discuss the pros and cons of staying in brand new RV parks.
Like
brand new.
Yeah, just opened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the one we're currently at, but we've stayed at a few in our 3 years of full-time RV travel and living, and they generally have pros and cons. They're all kind of the same, so we're gonna discuss those with you today.
So the first thing we're gonna talk about are the pros, and probably the #1 pro I think of staying at a new RV park or resort are the amenities. Normally, like the laundry room has all the up-to-date washer and dryers. The playground is nice covered, not sand or dirt, but like some type of mulch or something. They got pickleball courts. Most of them have a fitness center, pools. I mean, you name it, they have a general store. A lot of them will normally carry, you know, kind of the basics.
Yeah, they're just more modernized.
They are just very more modern.
The current RV climate.
And that is, I think, a huge thing.
For sure.
Is amenities, because otherwise you just come to a park and
sit around and make videos.
Very clean.
You actually get your own shower. You don't have to share.
I know this is nice because you have like this whole area.
Yeah, that's a pro.
So I guess if you were tent camping or you didn't had a bunch of people with you.
Yeah.
It has a lock on the door because it's just a code to enter. On top of new amenities, another pro with them is normally they're all like cipher-coded lock, like on the doors and stuff. So you have to be a guest to get in to use the facility. Where some of those older parks, like whoever can come in and use it.
Another pro to brand new RV parks is almost all of them, at least the ones we've stayed at, are modernized for today's RVers because the sites are bigger to accommodate larger rigs on the road. I mean, let's face it, over the last 30-40 years, RVs have gotten a lot bigger, a lot more elaborate, and these new RV parks are recognizing that. So the sites are bigger, they're paved, they're almost always 50 amp full hookup sites.
Long pull-throughs, level.
Yeah, level's good.
Pave.
Some of the old park sites are not level at all.
Not level, dirt. So like if you have, you know,
sand,
prone
mud.
To. Additionally, a lot of these new RV parks and resorts that we've noticed is they have like, they invite a lot of the local farmer markets and food trucks in. So like this morning here, they had like, it was like a Cinnabon food truck that came. It was delicious. And then like right now there's a farmer's market going on, so they seem to like bring in stuff every day to help the local community and the people here at the RV park.
Another pro to staying in a brand new RV park is it's typically not very crowded when they first open, because really the word just hasn't got out yet until they see like videos like this, and then they know it exists, and then it starts to get more crowded. But right now there's hardly anybody here at all, so, and they've been open for 2 weeks. Another pro to staying at a brand new RV park is they mostly are all paved, not just the sites, but the actual roads around the campground are also paved, which is very nice. Wow, look at this dog park.
Look at this cute thing they have for dogs. It's a stick library.
Stick library, look at that.
We'll have to bring our big baby
take a
over
stick
here.
and toy and leave a stick or toy.
Aww. You know what's nice is, with two sides is, like small dogs and large dogs, or if your dog is skittish, or if your dog's a little bit aggressive, like you have that separation.
Yeah.
Instead of just one big free-for-all.
Right? Axel gets nervous in the free-for-alls.
Oh yeah. Another great thing with these newer parks is like wide open sky. Like there's no low-hanging branches or anything to navigate. Like all the RV sites are normally like open space. I mean, there are trees, but not like where your RVs are at. So like you don't have to worry about navigation, things falling on your RV and stuff like that.
Right. Most of them, they clear the entire land, you know, build the park, and then they plant trees after the fact, so all the trees are little. We do have some big tall trees here at this park that we're at, but they're not in the way.
Yep.
The first con we're going to talk about is there's typically still construction going on when you're at these new RV parks. They'll open up a segment of the RV park and get that up and running while they're still finishing the rest of it. So you will have to deal with some construction noise.
It's usually starting like first thing in the morning.
As soon as quiet hours ends.
Another con, price. Normally these new RV parks and resorts are a little spendy. For us at least. You know, it's rare that we actually stay at a private RV park, but like when we do, it's like this one, it's a little bit more than we'd particularly spend.
Yeah, they're you know, trying to recoup the cost of building this beautiful park, and so they up the price. I think here is about $100 a night.
Yeah.
So yeah, can get a little spendy with these new parks.
And along with that is there's always seems to be some like additional fees that you don't know about. Like for this park, they automatically charge you a Wi-Fi fee to use their Wi-Fi. Well, we don't need it. We have Starlink and we have our T-Mobile home internet. So when we checked in, I was like, I don't need to pay for that because I'm not going to use it.
Right.
So it kind of...
So just make sure you check your bill, or when you're checking in, if you already if you bring your internet with you, let them know we don't want to get charged for extra internet.
And some of these new parks want to keep all their stuff, you know, clean and up to date and in good shape, so they charge for like picnic tables and those additional things. So just do your research before you stay at one.
So another con for staying at a brand new RV park is when you get here, there might not be some of the amenities that are available to you quite yet. Like, for instance, here the pool's not open yet. They're still working on it. They've actually built a bunch of cabins, and those aren't open yet either because they're still in the construction zone, so you can't rent a cabin. So that's definitely a con. You know, you expect all the amenities to be there if you're going to pay that price that the campground is charging, and it just may not happen if it's a brand new RV park.
Another thing is sometimes unexpected things happen. These new RV parks, we've stayed at one in Texas where all of a sudden our whole section didn't have power because of something wasn't installed right or something crazy happened. So you just have to kind of be prepared. I mean, normally they were quick to repair it, but
yeah, they're still working out the kinks.
They're still working out the kinks. It's just like if you buy, you know, your brand new RV or whatever, like things happen, and so it just tends to happen maybe a little bit more. Like unexpected things, you know, aren't always open or not available yet, or you know, new staff. They're training people.
Right.
So sometimes you won't get the same answer or an answer because they just don't know. So
probably one of the bigger cons to staying in a brand new RV park is they typically don't have all the grass, you know, in full form yet. So there's going to be maybe more mud. They definitely don't want you putting anything on the grass to allow it to grow, which makes sense. So like for instance here we had to put our clam at the end of our site.
Yep.
Which goes back to the pro of modern sites. Our site's nice and long. We can get the Jeep and the RV and our clam, so that's nice.
So one thing here at this this new RV resort is every time I go outside, you know, I have a very heightened sense of smell. It smells like manure, but I think it's like just like the new dirt and whatever. But it's just kind of like, you know, it doesn't smell fresh.
It doesn't smell like our Yankee candles.
No, or my Scentsy or anything. It smells like poo.
All right, lastly, one of the cons, and this isn't really a big deal, but it is kind of a bit of a pain, is so a lot of these new RV parks are putting their dumpsters in one spot in the entire park.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's easier for the garbage folks to come pick it up. I'm not sure, but sometimes you have to travel quite the distance to take your trash. Whereas some of the older parks, they'll have dumpsters spread out throughout the park. It does look like here that they may be adding some dumpster spots in the future. They just don't have dumpsters in them yet, so we'll see. But we have seen that trend where they're going towards a central location for all the dumpsters in the park. Yeah. Overall, we love staying at brand new RV parks. I mean, it's new, it's fresh, it's something different. We have no problem giving feedback to the people that work here, so to improve it and make it better. And yeah, we'll continue to sprinkle these new parks in as we travel across the country.
That's right.
All right, guys, I got something new to show you. I had another company reach out to us, and they sent me a new door lock. Check this out. This is by Onus. This is by Oneus. This is by Oneus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, we're gonna upgrade our door locks that we already have. We've been rolling with Keypad door locks since the day we left Alaska 3 years ago, and well, they're kind of just beat up, don't work all the time anymore. The keypads are wore out on them, so it's time for an upgrade. So let's open up this bad boy, see what's inside, do an install and a quick review for you. All right, let's see what's in the box. All right, of course we have the instructions. Looks like the toolkit even comes with extra striker plates, which is good because our striker plates are pretty beat up. It's got a screwdriver, it's got the hardware, it's got a little Allen wrench key, so should be good. Let's see what's in here. Ooh, the key fobs. So these key fobs, look at that bad boy. That looks like a car key fob. And what's really neat is there's the key, just like a vehicle. You don't have to have an extra thing on your keychain, just one thing. Another key fob. So it comes with 2 key fobs. Perfect. Of course, the main event, the door lock. Woo! First time holding this. This thing is sturdy. It's heavy. It's like really solid, well built. The keypad is rubberized. The one we have now is plastic, and we've already had to replace them a couple times. But this one's nice and rubber. A hole down here for you can actually use your manual key, the one I just showed you. So that's cool. Got a door latch lock. Now this door latch lock really isn't going to do anything as far as locking it goes, but it's going to prevent this from opening like this during travel days. So if you have this locked, you can no longer pull that out. Kind of helps the door from popping open during travel days. So you got a couple different buttons here. The set button, which we'll get to here in a second. The keypad does light up, or you can shut those lights off if you want. It's even got a mute button. That way, if you don't want to hear the jingle every time you unarm it and arm it, you don't have to. And then of course it has a reset button in case you need a factory reset for whatever reason. And then lastly, it's got a lock and unlock button, and what this is going to do is when you have it locked, this is going to be on the inside of your RV. If you have that locked, the key fob will not work. So you actually have to enter the code or use the manual key to unlock it, but this is just kind of an extra safety measure. Alright, so let's go pull our old one off, install this new one, and do a test. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this old door lock. As you can see, this thing's beat up pretty good. It's all taped up, the screws are stripped. It's time for this thing to go. Alright, 4 screws gone. So the next thing we got to do is take the striker plate off so we can remove the old one. Ooh, it's already coming out. Look at that. Oh, there's the back. We can take that off. Unhook it. There you go. There's that. Might not actually have to remove the striker plate. Let's see. Yep, I think we are. Alright, striker plate gone. Alright, let's pull this thing out now. There we go. Alright, so now that we got the old one removed, let's put in this new one. Let's see those instructions for later. It's already put together, so we're going to have to remove these 4 screws to get this apart. Alright, last screw. This should come apart. All right, so now we gotta unhook the wiring real quick. There we go. So there's the back. We're gonna install the front first. All right, let's put this thing on. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I can see right away though I'm gonna have to do some touch-up paint because we got full body paint on this RV. So you can see the white showing, but I have touch-up paint, so not an issue. All right, let's put the back on. The first thing we wanna do is hook up our wiring harness again. There we go. All right, so one thing that I learned from the last locks that I installed is you gotta make sure two things. First, you have to make sure this piece on the inside, right here, goes over your deadbolt lock. The second thing you need to make sure is this right here is not in the outward position, otherwise you're gonna have to tear it apart and reinstall it. Make sure it's flat down. And make sure the lock goes on there correctly. And then you also want to make sure your wire harness is tucked in because it looks like they made like a nice little cutout here for the wire harness where the two fittings meet, so that's good. Yeah, look at that. All right, let's do a test real quick before we put the screws in. Hey, look at that, there's the deadbolt. All right, so now that we got it installed into the door, let's put our screws back in. You know, I mentioned this before on my channel. I'm a mechanic for 30 years. I don't know how many freaking screws I've dropped over the years, but it's got to be in the millions. All right, now we got all these screws started. We're just gonna get them nice and snug. All right, seems pretty solid. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do some touch-up paint here as well. I actually painted these doors. They came white from the factory, and they're starting to peel, so it's time to repaint these. All right, we can reinstall our striker plate now. Cool. Now let's put some batteries in it. So 4 AA batteries in this little compartment here. It even came with a tiny, teeny, weeny little screwdriver to undo it. It's one screw. You don't want to drop this one. You'll never find it, it's tiny. Oh gosh, don't drop it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna hold that. Oh, look. It's got a little clip behind it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can't even drop it unless that clip falls off, so that's good. Directions say you should hear an audible sound once you get the batteries installed, and that means you actually hooked it up right. All right, last battery. Let's listen for the sound. I heard it. It was quiet, but I did hear it. It just kind of beeped a little bit. All right, let's put this back on. All right, now that we got it installed, I got the handy dandy instructions so we can program it. And the first step is to program the keypad. So let's do that. First thing you got to do is enter the administrative password. They're all the same. It's 12345. Super easy. So we're going to enter that and then hit the check mark. 1 2 3 4 5. Check mark. And then press set, which is on the back side. Now you enter your new administrative password. We're not going to show you this. The new administrative password does have to be between 5 and 10 digits long. All right, got my new password set, and then once you do it and it's right, it's actually the little yes button. This button right here at the bottom, it's gonna light up green and beep. So we did it right, yay! All right, so now let's program our key fobs. All right, so the first thing we gotta do is make sure that the safety lock is in the unlocked state, which it is. That would be locked. That would be unlocked. Now we're gonna enter our new administrative password that we created, and then we're gonna press set 3 times. So you kind of gotta go back and forth here. So let's see. One, 2, 3. And it starts beeping. And then press any key fob button. I don't think I was fast enough. Let's try that again. There it goes. All right, it's working. All right, so let's see if the door will shut. I may have to adjust the striker plate. Let's see. I'm discovering a problem. I'm going to show you that here in a second. definitely gonna have to adjust the striker plate. All right, we got the striker plate all adjusted, so now she closes. But did discover a problem. This lock on the inside, where you can lock it and unlock it from the inside of the RV, it hits the slider on the screen door, which isn't a huge deal, but when the screen door is closed and you want to close this door, it ain't gonna close because it's hitting that slider. You got to open up the slider and then close it. So, not ideal. So one thing I just noticed on these new door locks is this has a nice little lip right here for opening or for closing the door when you're inside the RV. So that's kind of nice. Because if you try to close the RV with this, then it's just going to detach itself from the screen door and it doesn't really work. Overall, I do like the construction of this. It's very sturdy. It'd be hard to break into, I think. And I like the rubber keypad. A couple things I don't like about it. Number one, of course, is the lock hitting the slider on the screen door. And the other thing is we have 2 doors and each one has an independent key fob instead of having one key fob to unlock 2 different doors. That would be nice if they've had that option. Put a couple extra buttons on here so you can control more than one door, but it is what it is. I'll drop a link to our Amazon store where we have these locks. I don't know if everybody's going to have the same issues that we're having with the slider hitting the lock or not. And again, it's not a huge deal. It's still functional. It still works fine. It's just an extra step that you have to take to close your door. But it is very well made. This thing is super durable, and I think it's going to work just fine.